The camera captured strange and eerie events on the beach that left viewers utterly astonished. Welcome to the mysterious universe. Dear friend, the vast ocean always holds countless mysteries. We always yearn to behold the radiant beauty of the coastline, the glorious, radiant dawn, or the waves breaking upon the shore, bringing with them the sea's refreshing breeze. However, that is still not all that exists on the vast coastlines around the world. This place also conceals countless strange and terrifying things. Surely upon seeing it, you will be astonished and terrified. That could very well be unknown bizarre creatures, ancient human remains thousands of years old, or utterly unique natural phenomena. Everything holds its secrets, carrying within them long, inexplicable stories. Mysterious universe. After the storm, a strange and terrifying creature washed ashore. Fridid Deshay, a member of a non-profit organization specializing in environmental conservation and protection, was cleaning up a beach in Thong Bang City, Texas, USA. After Hurricane Harvey, the body of a strange sea creature was discovered. The animal was likely swept ashore by the storm, with the flesh on its belly already beginning to rot. Notably, the creature appeared to have no eyes and possessed a set of sharp teeth, which terrified Deshay when he witnessed it. She shared that this was the first time in her life she had ever witnessed such a strange creature with her own eyes. After that, Deshay called his colleagues who were present on the beach to come and observe the strange creature together. But no one knew exactly what kind of creature it was. Deshay captured an image of this strange creature and posted it on his personal Twitter page. Thanks to the support from the online community in identifying it. After seeing the posted images, many Twitter users speculated that this creature is a type of minnow, but it's also very difficult to say that for certain. This is most likely a tacky loach, also known as a snake loach. This species is commonly found inhabiting regions of Mexico. Tacky grouper typically live at depths ranging from 30 to 90 meters and spend most of their time hiding and seeking refuge. But sometimes they also venture recklessly into shallow waters. The tacky fish also have eyes, but their eyes are usually very small and have degenerated. The catfish that Deshay found was in a state of decomposition, leading her to mistakenly believe that the creature had no eyes. Dr. Kenneth Hay from the National Museum of Natural History also shared the view that the creature Deshay found was a lanternfish. However, in his assessment, it is very likely that this is another species of pilot fish. Or perhaps it is a previously undiscovered species of goby fish. According to the doctor, it is unfortunate that the tail of this creature is no longer intact due to decomposition. By observing the distinctive features of the tail, we can identify which species of marine creature it is. The research was led by scientist Joan Dekker from Leiden University, the Netherlands. They had spent resources tracing the origin of hundreds of strange marine bone fragments that had washed up on their shores not long before. They have a shape resembling sharp spearheads with serrated edges, yet they are made from a bony material. Protein analysis was performed on the 9 preserved bone arrowheads, and results were obtained solely from these very specimens. 7 of those pieces were made of animal antlers and deer antlers, but the 2 most crucial pieces were actually fragments of human sea fossils. According to research cited by Derry Mio, these strange skeletal remains are between 5,300 and 7,500 years old. Belonging to the Stone Age, they could be crafted into arrowheads or spearheads, and as the quintessence of the most outstanding elites within that community. By using the bones of those they revered to craft weapons, the ancient Dr. Curran people believed that their hunting skills and strength would be multiplied many times over. Notably, this is not an aesthetic artifact, as evidence suggests it was once used in actual hunts. Furthermore, numerous studies also indicate that carving wine or horn into spearheads held a special significance. Because the red laughing thrush bird here symbolizes luxury and speed, Doggerland was a vast landmass connecting what is now the British Isles to the rest of the European continent. However, around 9,000 years ago, rising sea levels submerged it beneath the ocean floor. Particularly, in the area that was once home to Dr. Curran, underwater archaeologists have also discovered a great many mammoth remains. The key lion has perished, much like many other artifacts from ancient peoples. Strange brown foam blankets the coastline of Australia. Heavy rain accompanied by strong winds, with rainfall in some places reaching over 700 millimeters, has poured down on the coastal region and populated areas along the border between the state of New South Wales and Queensland. More than 2,000 households have been affected and are at risk of losing power due to the storm. Not only did the foam block people from going to the beach, but it also swallowed a dog, terrifying its owner. According to scientists, sea foam forms when seawater interacts with organic matter from decomposing marine organisms. Powerful winds sweep up waste, plankton, dead fish, and floating vegetation, all churning into sea foam that washes ashore with the waves. Australia is forecast to experience a wetter than average summer this year due to the influence of the La Niña phenomenon. The storm is expected to bring heavier rainfall and has the potential to spawn tornadoes. The newly discovered crab species has a shell covered in dense hair. On June 30th, a family in Australia discovered a crab with a bizarre shape that had washed ashore on a beach near the city of Denmark, in the Western Australia region. Immediately, they sent this specimen to Andrew Hauchi, the curator of the amphibian and reptile collection at the Western Australian Museum. Hauchi identified it as belonging to the sponge crab family Dromaeidae, but its appearance was highly unusual. Hauchi stated that impulsiveness is the characteristic identifying trait of this species. Spider crabs are often quite hairy, but their appearance is more akin to being covered in a soft layer of velvet or felt, not at all coarse and thick like this heavy fur coat. It is known that members of the sea sponge crab family use their sharp front claws to collect fragments of sea sponges and archidicta. Filter-feeding organisms, such as sea squirts, use their special siphons to capture food particles at the front end. The accumulated debris forms a camouflage cap, making it difficult to be detected by predatory fish, octopuses, and other carnivorous crabs. Sponges can also secrete toxins, making the crabs less appealing to predators. Upon receiving the specimen of the giant, hairy crab, Hauchi contacted marine researcher Corinne Maclay, an associate professor at the University of Canterbury, who has spent decades researching sponge crabs. Maclay confirmed that this was a new species of crab and gave it the scientific name Lamar Romeo Beagle. To commemorate the HMS Beagle, the ship that brought the renowned British naturalist Charles Darwin to Albany, Australia in 1836. This journey is believed to have profoundly influenced Darwin, planting the seed for the theory of natural selection he would later develop. Additionally, the name Biko is also very fitting for this new crab species, due to the reddish-brown shaggy fur covering their bodies, similar to the facial and shoulder characteristics of the Biko rabbit hunting dog breed. Glass Beach in Fort Bragg, California, USA is often described as one of the city's most peculiar and captivating destinations. Instead of having a beach covered in sand as usual, Gratbik lives up to its name as a place filled with countless pieces of glass in all kinds of vibrant colors. These glass pieces are not sharp-edged at all, as they have been polished by the seawater to become as smooth and rounded as pebbles. It is known that this beach is located within Maketitter Park, and the millions of glass pieces covering the area were not formed naturally. That is how nature reclaims a battlefield, just as time and the crashing waves have corrected one of humanity's mistakes. Specifically, in 1949, the area around this beach was a public execution ground. The people of Fodrick discard all kinds of household waste onto the cliffs above, which then spills down onto the beach below. One of the most commonly discarded types of waste is glass, bottles, and even cars. By the early 1960s, the local government had begun efforts to control the discharge of toxic substances into the sea. In 1967, the North Coastal Water Quality Committee recognized the error in its decision to encourage people to dump trash there, and therefore decided to close the Gradbick landfill. After 40 years, nature has restored and revived itself, miraculously cleansing the beach. Discarded pieces of glass are gradually worn down over time, becoming the sparkling, small, smooth, and vibrantly colored glass pebbles we see today. Even at times, we can still come across a few items that evoke memories of this place's past as a landfill, such as a Burj Reicht. However, most of what you see is millions of glass fragments shimmering under the sunlight, radiant and sparkling like crystal. Death Beach, where the planes appear to land right at the water's edge. Shinmokit Island is known as the world's smallest inhabited island, with a modest total area of just 84 square kilometers. But this place is known by a more impressive title. It possesses an airport dubbed the most terrifying in the world. when the giant airplanes fly right over your head, just about 10 meters away. Princess Zoriana Chinmadan International Airport is located in the Eastern Caribbean, in the overseas territory of the Netherlands, approximately 300 kilometers from Puerto Rico. This airport is named after Princess Zoriana of the Netherlands, who came to Chinmadan as a royal consort in 1944. The airport has a very short runway, just over 2 kilometers long, forcing large aircraft to approach the island by flying at a very low altitude. Here, you can relax on the beach while watching planes land from such a close distance that it feels like you could almost reach out and touch them. This brings a sense of delight, but at the same time, it also makes many people jump with a thrill. The airlines have calculated and confirmed that this distance is safe for the people standing on the beach below. However, they also advised people not to stand too close to the runway when planes are landing. Because wind force can cause objects on the ground to be thrown far and cause injuries, this is called the landing phenomenon. And when the aircraft takes off, you will be notified in advance to mentally prepare for any turbulence caused by wind effects. When preparing for takeoff, the aircraft generates an extremely powerful stream of hot air due to the extremely high wind speed, which can reach up to 400 kilometers per hour. Due to the short runway, the crew was forced to apply full throttle for a rapid takeoff. The jet blast from an airplane's engine is extremely powerful, roughly 800 times stronger than the exhaust from a car. Not stopping there, the maximum sound level recorded by scientists in this area reached 119 decibels. The human ear can perceive sound across a wide range, with a hearing threshold ranging from 0 to 125 decibels. It is known that there have been numerous accidents where spectators watching planes take off, not holding firmly onto the fence, were thrown a considerable distance. Though I wasn't seriously injured, the experience made my heart feel like it was going to leap out of my chest. The searing heat, the blinding smoke and dust, and the furious wind still haunt me. The sound is choppy. Maho Beach in front of Zoriana Airport. Becoming one of those mythical beaches, but only for those who truly wish to challenge themselves. On the afternoon of November 20th, a waterspout, also known as a tornado phenomenon, pulling a massive column of seawater appeared over the waters near the coast of Cerechna, Italy. After the clash, the dragon's jaw on the shore caused damage to Sea Claw and a number of containers in the area. Reportedly, in 2016, a waterspout also appeared in this sea area, which swept up an entire boat with people on board. A double-walled tornado is an extremely powerful rotating column of air, capable of lifting objects from the ground up into the cloud. The cloud has a shape resembling a funnel or a suspended swirling vortex, looking much like a waterspout. Hot, humid air from the sea blowing inland encountered cold, dry air, forming clouds and causing thunderstorms. If favorable conditions are met, the rapidly rising air current will swirl around a funnel-shaped center at speeds that can sometimes exceed 160 kilometers per hour. The tornado appears when that funnel-shaped cloud touches the ground. Waterspouts can suck up fish and other marine life, lifting them hundreds of meters into the air, while also capsizing boats in their path. Dust devils can form at any time when hot and cold air masses collide, even at night, but they occur most frequently in the afternoon. Tornadoes can occur in a very short period of time, lasting only a few seconds, but can sometimes persist for over an hour. However, the vast majority of actual tornadoes typically have a lifespan of less than 10 minutes. Recently, strange creatures with bizarre shapes have been washing ashore on beaches all over the world. That is the carcass of marine creatures, sometimes identified as blue whales, but at other times not. From the smallest fish to the giant species, they all continuously amaze both local people and experts. However, a mysterious structure approximately 24 meters long, buried in the sand, was recently discovered by local residents on a beach in Florida, USA. Local residents reported that after typhoons Lan and Marina swept through, the coastline in the area experienced varying degrees of erosion, inadvertently revealing a number of surprises. Unlike other beaches, the structure found on the Florida beach looks as if it were made of wood and metal. However, its true nature and composition remain undetermined. According to Ms. Tamara Malfauer, spokesperson for the Prussia County Beach Safety Agency, beach erosion had been occurring for a long time without being detected. She shared that it had been a long time since they had witnessed such severe erosion. She had lived near this beach for almost 25 years, Yet this was the first time she had seen something like this exposed, and she wasn't sure what it was. Shortly after the photo of the strange object was posted on social media and spread like wildfire, netizens began speculating about its true nature. Many believe that the unidentified object could likely be a shipwreck or the main hull of a vessel. Meanwhile, some other opinions noted that its size was too small and somewhat rigid in relation to the overall boat. Additionally, locals had previously discovered an unidentified 8-meter-long creature washed ashore on Bremenman Beach. That is a basking shark with a body as massive as a truck. The shark is enormous in size but is actually harmless to humans. They primarily just glide silently through the water. Their primary diet consists of plankton and other small invertebrates, which they catch by opening their mouths wide to gulp their prey. The cause of the shark's death has not been determined, and to this day it remains a mystery. A rare iceberg has appeared on the beach. A series of cylindrical ice formations have just appeared on Marjaniemi Beach on Haloto Island, Finland. This phenomenon is very rare and only forms under specific conditions. Raitomathira, the photographer who captured these images, recounted. He and his wife were walking on the beach on November 3rd when they encountered a large number of ice balls stretching about 30 meters along the shore. The largest fruit was the size of a soccer ball, a strange phenomenon he had never seen before. According to research by expert Sunnivernio at the Finnish Meteorological Institute, this phenomenon may occur only once a year under specific weather conditions. Because it requires the air temperature to be slightly below the freezing point. The water must reach freezing temperatures, along with a gently sloping sandy beach and soft waves. In addition, there must be a central core for the ice to accumulate around, while ocean waves are also necessary to push them to move back and forth along the shore. And so, it grew. According to Dr. Jim Carter from Illinois State University, USA. Autumn is the ideal time for ice hunting, as this is when ice first begins to form on the water's surface and is easily broken by the waves. Accordingly, thanks to the photo being taken and shared, the world can now witness a phenomenon that most of us have never had the chance to see. Giant bags full of meat have washed ashore on beaches in the UK. Helen Marrow was walking her dog along Frensel Beach. Large white patches and strange objects appeared on the sand, shaped by ocean waves and with a dense, meat-like texture. The incident occurred just after the tide receded, suggesting they were likely swept in from the deep offshore waters. Through the photos taken by Marrow, we can see large white bags piled up on the sand, not far from the sea. I don't know what it is. I have never seen anything like it, so I cannot compare it to anything. I can only confirm that it is an organic substance. I can't quite identify what it is, but it appears to be organs, perhaps the stomach of a whale. Immediately after the incident, a research team from CYT reposted these photos on their Facebook page and issued a confirmation stating that these objects are by nature part of a whale's stomach. Additionally, before paleontologists reached this conclusion, there had been other hypotheses, including the suspicion that it might have been a whale's placenta. Abby Crutby, a marine conservation specialist with CYT, stated, "This is truly a fascinating discovery, as it indicates the presence of a newborn whale calf in the vicinity." According to Crutby, although it is not yet possible to precisely determine which species of whale this organ belongs to, based on the size of the discovered object, it is likely from a large species of whale. Off the coast of the United Kingdom is home to many different species of whale, including humpback whales, fin whales, and minke whales, though it could also be a sperm whale, a species rarely seen in this area. However, the object suspected to be the thick-bodied whale carcass was not thoroughly studied by oceanographers, as it was likely carried away by the tide. However, this incident revealed an important perspective on the living creatures surrounding Phuong Quoc An. The tide can wash any creature or object at sea ashore. This is not the first time strange objects have been discovered on the coastline. Accordingly, last month, an object suspected to be a whale's penis washed ashore on a beach in Australia. Immediately thereafter, scientists raised the question of how it could have been severed. According to Australian zoologist Vanessa Parada, the cause of this incident could be anything, even the liver of a shark. At night, Cambodia's beaches emit a magical glow, creating a spectacular scene found in few other places. The glowing beach at night is a rather unique and visually striking tourist destination in Cambodia. On the beautiful Nok Sin Island, a place hailed as the Forgotten Paradise. Koh Rong Island in Sihanoukville was once admired for its pristine beauty and was voted one of the top 45 must-experience destinations in the world, and is dubbed the undiscovered Hawaii of Asia. This is Cambodia's second-largest island, covering an area of over 78 square kilometers, with a 43 kilometers long coastline and more than 23 beautiful beaches. This place is renowned for its pristine beauty, featuring a long stretch of white sandy beach, clear and warm ocean water, along with a pleasant and mild tropical climate. Here, you can also enjoy exciting activities such as diving to explore the magnificent coral reefs or taking a boat out for some near-shore fishing. Sea of Stars. According to the explanation, these strange lights are emitted by a bioluminescent species named fuju, which produces phosphorescent light when subjected to